As you might imagine, I've gotten a lot of interesting prospect calls over the years with projects to come take a look at as being the possible builder. In the build show today, I've gotten permission from this prospect to film the process because this is an unusual project and a bit of an unusual owner. So we're heading out to Lockhart, Texas, and we're going to be picking up the owner along the way. Today's build show, little prospecting call. Let's get going. All right, y'all, we are in East Austin at Revival Cycles, and Alan, the owner of Revival, is the prospect I was telling you about. Now, this shop space here, I've not seen before, but I hear it's amazing. And all this is what's gonna get moved to this beautiful building in Lockhart. Let's go meet Alan and see what their current digs look like. Uh-oh, we're locked. Alan.
Hi.
Hey, man.
Come on in.
Oh my gosh, look at this shop space.
We call this our starter shop.
Oh man, this is incredible.
Well, especially if you're outside, it doesn't look like much, right? And then you
It
come in
doesn't,
here,
but you are dripping with cool stuff everywhere. Wow.
our very, very rare 1983 wet bike.
I have never seen that before.
This is $500 of pure fear right here. We rode that at the lakes. Yeah, so this is our workshop.
Oh my gosh.
We've been
Now-
here
and
since
I've
2000.
seen this bike before. This is a pretty famous bike right here.
Well, you know, I don't know about famous, but yeah, it's famous for everybody asking the same question, which is where does the gas go?
Oh yeah, I
It
have
just
no
goes
idea.
right here. I mean, it's just a really small gas tank. It was built to be a replica, inspired by, not a replica, of a 1920s BMW racer. It's inspired by that to profile the prototype engine at the time for a BMW R18 that has now been released.
Dang.
So we just use a BMW motor and BMW rear differential, and everything's built around it.
in a full custom frame, and this is your design, right? Can I touch it?
Yeah, of course. It's titanium.
Those are titanium rods that have been welded.
So this bike weighed, the factory bike weighed about 720 pounds, and this weighs about 420.
Oh my gosh.
So super lightweight,
Nothing.
tons of torque. Like I said, 1.8 liter, which is, the average small car engine size.
Oh,
So-
in a 400-pound bike? 500, what'd you say it was?
400-pound bike.
400
420
bike.
pounds.
That is so cool.
yeah.
And everything else around here is dripping with cool too.
I swear we didn't set it up for you. This is just how it was yesterday.
Alan, you are the Matt Reisinger of the building world, or of the bike building world, where all these are customs, right? Like when I build a house, I'm building for a client.
Right.
These are custom projects that you're doing for clients, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And we don't even like to do repairs. I mean, if it's like a high-end bike where someone can't buy the parts for it, or it's a previous bike that we've built that's custom, we like to do that. But yeah, I mean, in a similar way, obviously I watch your channel. I nerd out on doing new things constantly with as many new technologies as we can combine into old school. So like what you'll see today is I want to apply some modern science and modern technology to a building that's 120 years old.
Love it.
Which I realized today, I don't have a motorcycle that's 120 years old yet. My bikes are only 100 years old. I need something that's properly, like 1900 was when this building was made. I can't wait to show it to you. It's
Man,
gonna
I
be
can't
so
wait
cool.
to see it. And look how they varied with the red brick and the clay brick.
Yeah. Isn't that great?
That's so cool.
And then each one of these, you'll see when we get inside, these are all alcoves in the basement.
Oh, is that
There's
right?
One there, one there,
Oh,
one
yeah,
there.
okay.
And they would have been because they didn't have power when they
Right.
built this building
That was the
for
light.
lighting. That was their lighting for the thing, and then eventually they covered it up. Well, my intention is to turn this back into a full glass section of non. So
you get some
those
light in
machines
there.
like the English wheel will create these little vignettes so you can see into
Oh
them.
man, that'd be
Right.
so cool.
Extra square footage. That's what it is.
Oh man, look at this. This is awesome. The original tin ceiling.
You can see why I immediately fell in love with the damn thing. But yeah, you can see there's a railing there that would have been for a ladder that's
Yep.
on that side.
Yep.
Definitely you can see that this wood is less worn out, so there would have been cabinetry all along here as well.
Yeah.
But wait till you see what's on the other side over there.
Is that right?
Oh man.
So we're fronting the main road right here.
Yeah, this grows directly to New Braunfels, San Marcos.
Okay.
And it gets a surprising amount of traffic. My plan is to obviously double wall, change this glass out.
Yeah, this glass is in
I mean,
rough shape.
look at this.
Oof.
Can you imagine how easy it is to get in here?
Yeah, pretty easy.
But also the energy when the sun's coming through. This is south.
Baking you.
So hot, so hot.
You need some low E coatings in that glass.
So I'm going to put in glass sections between the floor joists, looking down onto wherever I end up with the coolest machines, so you can look into it. This will be cafe retail space. Wow. The whole floor.
Killer.
But look at this. This is the best part.
What's
all original.
It's all original, is that right?
This is all original.
Wow.
Which I'm half a mind to have it stripped back to the wood because it wasn't painted, obviously.
No, that's been in later years they painted it.
But I like the black, but
you try it on a section and see what it looks like.
Yeah. Maybe look at it. But even if it was a rough strip, but you can see here's where the countertop was.
Yeah.
So I ran into, there's a coffee shop on the square, and I started talking to this lady in line, and her great uncles were the Masur brothers.
Is that right?
And she's like, I remember when I was a kid, them still being here behind the counter. They were still here, and they were hanging out here. No one was ever in the building. There was no one ever buying anything hardly, but they were still here hanging out behind the counter.
Holy cow.
So I really want to find historical photos of all of it. And
that would be so cool. And look at that ladder.
isn't that cool?
Still rocking.
On it, yeah.
And that's how they got stuff out for hardware customers or stock or whatever.
Right.
And it still rolls too.
So I feel like I need to reproduce that over on the other side.
Yeah, that'd be pretty easy to reproduce.
Yeah.
That's no big deal. Look.
Whoa! This is your elevator.
Holy cow!
Yeah.
This is legit.
And this is wide enough.
Dang.
This is to the alleyway that we can pull the car in. So my goal is that the elevator is going to be big enough to fit at least a Porsche.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, and we have to modernize this. This is not exactly safe. It works.
I don't think this will pull the Porsche up right now.
Any good man has a pocket knife and a flashlight.
That's exactly right. If my pants are on, I need a source of fire. I need a knife and I need a light.
So,
and yet I've only got one of the three today. Oh man.
So this is the workshop.
Get out.
This will be the workshop.
I think you could probably X this too and go deeper down here, which would be nice. It may not be in the budget immediately.
I don't need the height.
You don't need the height. Okay.
Because motorcycles, even on a lift, will not go to this. They won't go higher than this. Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking about possibly when I get fixed where I'm going to have my motorcycle lifts, recessing them into the ground because it makes them easier to load. But I don't really need the height.
Okay.
So, I like this feel, the lower
good.
feel.
Yeah.
Everything else in the building is so giant. This is a much more intimate space. And then the original furniture probably. I mean, you're not moving that in here, so it was built in the room.
It was built in place by a carpenter.
Yeah,
with the original cool hardware.
Isn't that neat?
Oh,
there's no catch on there. We might have to fix that.
On there.
But super cool. And then there's the alcoves I was talking about. They go all the way around the perimeter on the outside.
That's how they brought light in back then.
Yeah,
and then they've since sidewalked them over.
When they got electric lights, they just covered them up, which I'm going to open it back up. This structure pole,
lamb beam,
this goes all the way to the roof, right? It reduces in size.
And was that all original, or was this
original?
1900.
It was done then.
Wow.
Right? You would think this would have been like cutting edge stuff.
No.
In 1900s, maybe.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Today.
Yeah, that's right.
But back then, I mean, look at that's 1-inch steel.
That's serious business.
So who knows how far down that goes?
Yeah,
I imagine.
And it doesn't look like it's moved any, so there's a big old footing down there.
There's a tiny bit of movement on like the second floor you can see.
Is that right?
But the building is solid. Yeah.
And so that bricks come all the way down to the foundation.
Oh, there's the ladder.
Is that the ladder?
Yeah, it's the same style. It's half of it.
It's half of it.
Looks like it got broken. But yeah, that's half of it.
I think you're right. No, that's another smaller one. You're right.
Or it's the bottom.
And look at this.
Bottom half of it. That's the wheels.
Look at this. This is another piece that matches that over there.
Yeah,
that's super long.
Left it here.
We'll put that back together.
That 1890s house we did in Clarksville, which is near your buddy's castle, had 3-foot thick stone walls just sitting on the rock. And I suspect that's what's going on here too.
Yeah, you think so? It's gone all the way down to find bedrock.
They just dug all this down and they're like, oh great, we got rock here. And then they just built up from there.
It's incredible. I mean, this will be here for another 100 years. You
For
know?
sure.
So
it's in great shape.
the idea that it just stays and sticks around.
It's in great shape.
I just want to do so much to preserve what's here, but also make it much more useful, modern.
Top and a ladder to get there. So we're in the middle floor now.
Yeah, second floor, technically. You know, I'm gonna need to put in a few new windows in
This is my favorite space.
because it's just open.
I like this.
You get a sense of the scale of it.
Yeah, and you've got those cool original archtop windows facing the street,
Yeah. And the way they're cut,
plaster walls.
the way they're framed, you would think that it's square outside, but no, it's rounded outside.
Yep.
They've just, for whatever reason, cut out square.
This space is awesome. I like this.
So I'm thinking event space, open space
Yep.
for exhibits here, and probably some like the leather design room. All of that goes in here.
What's the building's footprint? What's
Can't
this?
remember. I can't remember. I should know.
Yeah, just
Cannot
curious.
remember. It's right around 5,000 square foot per floor.
Gotcha. And it's like 14-foot ceilings in here?
Yeah, I think this is 14 because it is a little bit lower, right?
I wonder why the fire door is so high.
Oh, I had the same question. It was a window. They just took a window and turned it into a, because remember that was added on.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I had the same thought.
They just fluffed the window out for the door. Okay, that makes perfect sense.
This is one of my favorite things right here. This,
They through bolted it.
this little access door. It's so you could bring it
That's to you.
to you
That's awesome.
while standing right here. Or yell, come faster.
That's so cool.
You can see it better from here. Yeah, you guys you'll probably want to film up there. And there were windows in the shaft that they've blocked up. I'm going to open those back up again. I'm probably, depending on cost, if I can make it glass faced, the doors for the elevator forward and backward, I'm going to do that.
Oh, that would be super cool.
So people can see through.
That'd be super cool.
Don't fall in there.
And now we're coming to third floor. And what do you think the third floor is?
Third floor is all offices.
Okay.
This is my kingdom.
There we go.
This time it opens. They had nailed it shut.
Oh, look at this.
It's fancy,
Now, I
right?
did not expect this.
It's the same
It's an apartment for somebody.
with someone's giant 5,000 square foot apartment.
Whoa. This is wild.
I'll probably glass wall this kitchen up just to keep the noise in there.
Yep.
And then open office space for now for everybody. And this is where I talked about, possibly building like rolling desks
Yeah.
that you could step up into.
Totally.
Only because
And have storage space underneath. or
why
whatever.
not? Yeah, I think
that'd
it'd be neat.
This is awesome. Yes. Wow.
Isn't it neat?
This is cool. Dang, I like this.
So this is all set
Holy
on-
cow.
It's all set on I-beams on top of those supporting posts.
Wow.
So that none of the load is on the roof.
This is great, Alan.
Look at the view of all the kick-ass buildings. So the plan draws to expand the deck out to almost, the membrane is old.
What is this? Is this TPO? It's so old.
I think it's holding everywhere but in that back corner.
Yeah.
And even that back corner, I think that's a drainage issue more so than a
And there's
membrane.
rooftop insulation, it feels like.
Probably. Yeah, I was
Feel
wondering
how
why it's so
spongy
soft.
It is. Yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah.
But you could see the posts, right?
Yeah, they're coming up through.
Where it's carrying the load.
Yeah, that's wild.
And so the plan is to, the original bid called for $90,000 worth of steel work to expand this out, to carry the load back into there. But this is a lot of square footage bought.
Yeah, it is. It's
With
a lot
that.
of usable square footage for
And
that.
the plan built it so that we'd have a big tent we could put up to enclose it. And then there would have been around the elevator, kitchen and bathrooms upstairs. So look over here. Check this out. You're gonna love this. (1908)
Oh my gosh.
December 23rd, 1908. Which is, wait, what is today? December 23rd.
Yeah.
There you go.
today's
Today
date.
is December 23rd.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't realize
straight up,
that.
December 23rd, 1908.
It's a few years ago.
What is that? 113 years ago?
Yeah. He even
At
got
the
his math
exact
right.
same date.
Should have brought mechanical calculator.
That's right, you should have.
And then this, new roof in August 19th, 1936.
Oh my God.
Vogel and Hutch.
That is so awesome.
Oh, here we go. I just realized something. Chimney. The chimney holes came straight into the brickwork.
Oh, yeah.
That's totally what that is.
So they were coming, so that was a vent then.
Yeah. At least they were smart enough to close those holes up for rats and varmints and stuff.
Yeah. This roof has a lot of money in it, or we'll need a lot of money.
We'll need a lot of money
to get it up to code and to make it not leak. And all these caps need to be redone too, because this mortar was keeping the water from getting down on these bricks.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
And that will seep into the building and get you all wet over time. So this really needs to be capped
Resealed.
with something.
Okay.
If not, I mean, mortar might be able to be used today. And then these will need to be sealed off too, obviously.
What's it called? The skin coat, you know, like that they use stucco, but yeah, like a smoother stucco. Could that be? I mean, you could do anything, I guess.
Yeah, you
right?
can do anything.
You lay over it.
Yeah, just a parge
like
coat
this.
of stucco here.
And then,
yeah.
I'd like to do that, I think.
And then I'm guessing
The flashing.
all these flashings in this roof are this is gonna cost some bucks up here.
Yeah, my developer friend said, we don't need a new roof. It's like, dude, we need a new roof. This roof is at least 20 years old.
I think it's I think it might be older.
Maybe
than
even
that.
older. Yeah. You've got a vent
It
stack.
looks really burned by the sun.
Yeah, it's pretty messed up, and you can see. I mean,
And that would
deck
give you the
is-
opportunity to add a little more insulation up here too.
Exactly.
And get rid of the LP siding.
And this goes, yeah, exactly. And this goes away because the elevator's got to come all the way up.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah.
it'll be expensive, that bet. I know that's going to be our single largest
Interesting.
expense.
So it's all pitched down this way and goes through that one or two scuppers.
And then I'm guessing that's where the big issue is regarding what's leaking inside. Is the drainage is
Probably.
more of the issue. There's no water anywhere else in the building. It's just here.
Yeah, I think that's right. So all that scupper has been leaking down into this space.
Yep.
And just getting this masonry wet as the water rolls down the building is probably enough to do all this damage. Because the brick is a porous material.
So it just soaks it in
So it
and then
soaks it up, and then when the sun comes out the next day, after all this brick is soaked, the sun's trying to drive the water out the face that way and out the face this way, and it's blowing this off. And that's why all this area here is
it
all
almost
messed
looks
up.
like it's getting just like pouring in the way this is. But you think that could just be condensation over the years?
Well, it could be condensation, or there actually could be some amount of liquid water that's come in through the years, and then it's also bringing with it some lime from the mortar.
I see.
And that's probably what you're seeing on there.
because of the acidic nature. Right, I'm with you.
Yep.
I can't wait to fix that.
Yeah, that needs some work.
And these terrible windows with the tint.
I'm really excited to see what you do here. Maybe we'll get to work together on this.
I hope so.
This would be fun to put like a 10-part series together on what you've done from what you saw today as this hardly touched building that's been abandoned for 50 years into Revival Cycle's home.
I think it'll be really cool. Will this be your oldest building?
No, I've done an 1890s before.
We can cut that part out. One of the oldest buildings you've ever done, right?
One of the oldest
Certainly the
buildings.
oldest building I've ever been involved with, and I think that bringing back the heritage and the history of something this cool and preserving it is
So
hopefully Revival's legacy is this building.
And what's cool about this building too, Alan, is it's rare for us in Texas, and especially the Austin metro area, to see buildings like this from this vintage. You know, Austin has been the state's capital and has been the home of the University of Texas. We've mainly had kind of government and education jobs. We don't have a big manufacturing section of town or a warehouse district here. In fact, we hardly had anything at all until the 80s when kind of the tech industry, Dell, started to get big, and now we're booming in terms of mainly tech, certainly not manufacturing, not craftsmanship.
I think you being from the East Coast, you would have seen a lot of these buildings over the years, and in
ton.
Austin, I mean, I can't think of one this size, that age, that still exists.
Yeah, and people watching this
capital,
that are
that's
in
it.
other, you know, in Ohio or Michigan or all these other towns that were, you know, booming centers of commerce in the 1900s, 1920s, World War II, post-World War II. We don't have that. So to see this 1900s building Alan and I are drooling over this building because
Yes.
they just don't have this in this area.
I'm willing to be 20 miles out of town to get something this cool as the bare bones DNA of our headquarters. So I think it'll be cool. Not to mention the town; it's just full of cool stuff like that.
Super
So,
cool. How about we go get some barbecue?
Oh, that's a good idea.
But in the meantime, tell these guys how they can follow Revival Cycles, how they can get some Revival Cycles gear, some of that kind of cool stuff.
Sure, you can buy all the gear and parts you want at revivalcycles.com, or we're easy to find on YouTube, Revival Cycles, Instagram, Revival Cycles. It's easy. That's it.
I'll put a link to all those in the description below, guys. But thanks for joining Alan and I on this incredible tour. It's just so rare to see a building like this. Alan, really appreciate it.
I'm excited. Thanks for coming.
And man, the shop tour this morning, so awesome.
Imagine all that in here. It's
It'd
going to
be
be great.
unbelievable.
It's going to be cool.
Unbelievable.
All right. Let's get some barbecue. I'm hungry.
Let's go get some barbecue. Guys, if you're not currently a subscriber, hit that subscribe button below. We've got new content here every Tuesday and every Friday. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, otherwise we'll see you next time on The Build Show.